Hi, in this video I'll be showing you this. It's the Bosch WTH84001GB Heat Pump Condenser Dryer. What I want to do today is to show you around the dryer some of the features and benefits that it offers. This model has a maximum capacity of up to 8 kilograms. Now this is part of Bosch's Series 4 range in their condenser dryer range of tumble dryers. Just because it's towards the starting end of the range doesn't mean it's not packed full of useful features. To turn the dryer on, all you need to do is just turn the dial. Doesn't matter which way you go, just select the program. You'll see on here you've got a really nice clear white LED display. Now this is something that Bosch have put on their dryers for a year or so now at this level. If you go back more than say a couple of years, then it used to be a red display, and I must say this is much easier to read and goes down really well with customers. All I want to do is I just want to go through some of the programs quickly, because there's quite a lot to choose from, but each program has something a little bit different to offer. Now the main thing to comment on is that not all of the programs can you put a full 8 kilogram load in. If you were to select one of the programs that only offers a small load capacity, then all that it means, it will just take a lot longer to dry than is initially stated on the display here. This model has something called sensor dry, and a lot of heat pump condenser dryers have sensor dry, but basically what it does is it will sense the moisture content within the clothes during the drying process. And what it will do is it will actually adjust the time according to the moisture content and also how dry you want the clothes. Because on here you've actually got, so for this first 4 options you can dry all of these on a maximum of 8 kilograms. And with this will actually determine how dry the clothes are. So cotton cover dry plus, which is the first one. So initially it says 4 hours 19, and I know for some people looking at this going, well, I've not got 4 hours for my clothes to be dry. Well, as I say, that is an approximate time to start with, and as the program goes on, then it will hopefully reduce in time for you. As you come round to the cupboard dry, then that's a quicker option there. Iron dry is where it will leave it slightly damp, so perfect for things like shirts or blouses or trousers, that if you put them in the dryer to just take the majority of the moisture out, but you want to leave them slightly damp, which is ideal for drying, then that's the program for you. As you go around to the Eco program, so this is for a similar concept, so it is for dry hardware in heat resistant fabrics made of cotton or linen. But with the Eco program, it will take slightly longer to dry than say the cupboard dry. So if you were to select that, so at 3 hours 19, and the Eco program, so it could take half an hour longer, but it is more energy efficient. As you come around to some of the more specialised programs, like this one, the sportswear, this is for dry, self-drying sportswear made of performance fibres, microfibres or synthetics. Next option is the towel program. So that could be really good if you do all your towels in one go, which to be fair, that's what I do. I just go around the house, get all the towels, stick them in the washing machine on a very high temperature, make sure everything is nice and clean, and then I do pop them in the tumble dryer. So for me this will be a perfect program, and that one has a maximum capacity of up to 6 kilograms. As you come around to this one towards the bottom, mixed load, so this is mainly for drying items made of cotton and synthetics. That one has a maximum capacity of up to 3 kilograms. So I think you're noticing that all of the programs so far are varying in the load size that you can put in, so it can be a little bit confusing. So that's why I'd refer to the instructions. If you follow me on YouTube for a while, you know I'm not a huge fan of instructions, but I think for this purpose then it could be quite important, because what you don't want to do is to put clothes in and then realise that it's going to take a lot longer than the time originally stated. The program at the bottom, this is the manually timed program. This is a really good program if you've had something in the cupboard for a while, if you've got some creases in it, for example a couple of t-shirts. If you didn't want to iron them, I know sometimes just popping them in the dryer for say half an hour can help to get the creases out. Depends how much ironing you enjoy doing. I know at home I'm not a huge fan, but that could be a good option for you. So that's the warm program. Then the next one around here is the cold. So same concept, it's going to dry for half an hour, but that's just on a cold temperature. Then you've got things like this. This is the downwear program. So this is for drying clothing, things like bedspreads or eider-downs, stuff with down, and that has a maximum capacity of up to 1.5 kilograms. So it's quite a small capacity, but it is going to take quite a long time. Next program is the Super Quick 40. This is really designed for drying clothes made of synthetics and light cottons, and that one has a capacity of up to 1 kilogram. so quite a small capacity on that one. Next one is shirts, and as it says, it's designed for drying things like shirts and blouses made of cottons, linen, synthetics or blended fabrics, and that has a maximum capacity of up to 1.5 kilograms. And then you're into the section of easy care, and again, similar to the cottons around this side, you've just got the 3 drying levels, so iron dry, cupboard dry, and then cupboard dry plus. You will notice that the time is a lot quicker on this section, but you will find that the capacity has been reduced down to 3.5 kilograms as opposed to the 8 kilograms around this side. A couple of options at the bottom here. First of all, you've got drying level, so if I just show you on here. So drying level, what you can do is when you've finished drying the clothes, if they're not quite as dry as you thought they might be, then you can just press this button and it will just add some extra time on. This is brilliant. So it's 3 hours 43, and then the next option as you go onto level 2, so that will be 4 hours 7, and then the next option, so it is adding quite a bit of time, so you're up to 4 hours 31. So it's the same program, but you could just find, because of the atmospherics or the temperature of the room it's in, that you just need a little bit of extra time to get the clothes dry. Next couple of options, you've got finish in, and with this is a time delay option. So if you've got things like cheap electricity during the night, things like economy 7, then you can actually delay the start of the drying process, which is actually a really good idea. Also, if you weren't in the house, if you needed to go out, say if you're going to be out all day and you didn't want the dryer to be working and then finish, and then for the clothes to be sat there for a long time to get creased, then you will find that having the time delay option could again be another idea. That goes all the way up to 24 hours. Next option on here is reduced ironing, and what that will do, that will carry on rotating the drum when the drying process is finished. So if you knew you weren't going to be there for when the dryer finishes, then I'd recommend just enabling that, reduced ironing, and then it will just carry on tumbling. So there's no heat, but that can really help you to reduce the number of creases within the clothes. Then at the end here, then you've got start and reload. To open the door, it's nice and easy. You've got a big easy grip handle on the left hand side here, and you will find that the door opens basically 180 degrees. That's something I try and comment on, because especially with larger capacity machines like this, you want to at least have the ability to get the door well out of the way when you're getting the clothes in and out. Something I do comment on a lot is what material the hinges and door catches are made out of. I'm really pleased that Bosch has stuck with metal hinges and door catches, and I must say at this kind of level that's what I'd expect. Some of the cheaper manufacturers are going with plastic or nylon hinges and door catches, and essentially they're not as strong as they should be if you were to use metal ones. Filter, you've got the filter just on the inside here. That's nice and easy to take out and to make sure there's any fluff or lint has been removed. I'd recommend doing that perhaps every load, or at least every couple of loads. Just have a look in there, because what you could find is that if that gets too full, then the tumble dryer won't be as energy efficient to run. You've got a flap at the bottom here, so if you take that out, then it's just like a maintenance flap as they call it. On some condenser dryers you can actually take the condenser out, but with this one that's a sealed condenser, so there's little maintenance to do on here, but I'd just recommend taking this out. Again, not every load or every couple of loads, perhaps I'd say perhaps every 3 or 4 loads. Just really keep an eye on it, just to make sure that's still nice and clean. You can just give that a rinse out, so if it's got a lot of fluff or lint on there, if it needs a bit of a clean, give it a quick rinse out, and when it is dry, then you can just pop that back in there like that. As standard on pretty much all condenser dryers, the water is stored in the container at the top here. Now that's still the same, so once the drying process is finished, personally I recommend going and emptying this. There is actually an indicator on the front that will tell you when it needs to be emptied, but I suppose at home I tend to do it after every 1 or possibly 2 loads. Really depends on the load size that you've had in there. The other way, so I suppose that's one way you can use the machine. The other way is using this. So this is a cheeky little hose that comes with the tumble dryer, and I'll show you around the back in a moment, but there is actually a section you can attach it onto, and the main advantage is it saves you having to empty the water manually. But what will happen is if you've got a separate waste pipe, so if this is sat next to a washing machine where you've got, say, a standpipe, and you can put this into it, then any water that is generated throughout the drying process can exit the machine via the pipe. So again, really good option from Bosch. Just quickly show you around the back of the tumble dryer. First of all, you've got the mains lead at the top left here, and it's this section at the bottom here. So you just remove that pipe and then connect up the other pipe I showed you a moment ago, and then that gives you the ability to have the water exit the machine into a separate waste pipe. One of the main reasons you're going to be buying this kind of tumble dryer is this. So this is the energy label, and being a heat pump tumble dryer, then it will be very energy efficient. So it's an A+ energy rating, approximately 270 kilowatt hours per annum. So that's as an average. It's just proven that it's an 8 kilogram load, and you've got the noise rating there of 65 decibels. Just really a warning that the ambient temperature within the room that the tumble dryer is sat in will have a huge effect on the drying time. If you were to find, if it's in quite a, say, a warm atmosphere, say a kitchen or utility, where it's part of the main house, then you'll find that the drying time will be reduced. If you put it outside, so if you had it, for example, in a coal shed or a garage, which some people still do, then you will find that during the colder times, so at the moment when I'm recording this, it's early December in the UK, and we're basically down to minus temperatures. If you had this outside, then it will take a lot longer to dry than some of the times stated on the display. And that's really why I'd recommend, if you are going to put a tumble dryer outside, if you're going to have to put it in a garage where there's no heating whatsoever, personally, I wouldn't buy a heat pump tumble dryer. If you're thinking of purchasing one of these models, I've provided a link below to show you where to get one at a competitive price. Hope you enjoyed this quick video on the Bosch WTH84001GB Heat Pump Condenser Dryer. Please give us a thumbs up, click subscribe on my YouTube video, I'd always appreciate that. Leave a comments below. If there's something that you've come here to watch, so if there's a question that I've not answered for you, I've got this on display at the moment, just pop it in the comments and I'll get back to you. Also, if you have got one of these, tell you what, if you have got a Bosch heat pump condenser dryer, then let me know what you think about it, because I'd always appreciate the honest feedback. Thanks for watching today.